What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Meyer's Expeditions. Today I'm out here blue water diving. We got the man right here, Moku. We got Mark out here too. We're out here on a pretty popular spot. No secrets out here, but we're gonna do the chumming thing, the flashing thing. I don't do a lot of blue water, so I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked to get out here on a boat again and jump in here and just see what we see. We'll see you in the water. Bro, you said it, 100-pounder right here. So for those of you who don't quite understand what you're looking at right here, this is a massive offshore fish farm located right off the coast of Kona. And what it is essentially is like one big giant platform holding maybe a bunch of pumps or equipment attached to a massive underwater cage. Now, that massive underwater cage benefits from like a lot of current. It's like 4 miles offshore, and a lot of life congregates around it. You can see there's just so much stuff going on. I mean, it acts like the world's biggest fad. And guys, it works. It really attracts big ahis, mahis all over the place, onos during certain times of year, just stuff everywhere. So right now they're raising kampachi in them. And that's like a hybrid, some kind of bar or almaco jack or something like that. You can see how many they fit in here and just how wild this structure looks like. So we go off here at Kona all the time, and you just drift past it. Whichever way the current's going, set up in front of it, do a drift past it, and just look around and see what you see. And on this day, we saw mahi all day long. We saw one of the biggest ahis I've ever seen in the water, rainbow runners down deep, just tons and tons of stuff going on. Just a really, really cool area, and we're so fortunate to have this so close right offshore Kona that we can go spearfish anytime we want. So basically the name of the game here is set up in front of the big net, do your chumming, and right when you jump in, you'll see your ahis, you'll see those akus and those shibis and everything down there just kind of zipping around, and it's all about timing it. They're super fast, and you've got to kind of aim at that piece of chum, wait till one that you want comes buzzing past, and then take a shot. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You'll see I missed this one right here, but that's what it takes. It's just multiple tries, and then hopefully eventually you land more than you lose. At one point, Moku was fishing actually right next to us, and one of the aku actually came up and ate the bait right next to us. What's pretty sick is you can see how like it's the last one to get bit. You know, they kind of come through and they grab each obvious one and they kind of shy away from the one with the hook in it, and then eventually when they're desperate, they come through and they smash that one last. Finally, after watching these guys for a while, I kind of lined up on the aku that I was looking for. I noticed they were kind of moving a little slower. I picked out a piece of chum, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and then I got this shot, and I managed to land one. I was stoked. I knew at least now I've got a video. At least now I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna eat this thing. I've never had one of these before, so I'm pretty curious to see what they taste like, because to me, it looks just like a tuna. To me, that's a tuna. How can it taste bad? Anytime I dive with Justin Lee, he's always shooting these opelus. And I guess the theory is he shoots one of these and then he keeps it on his belt. And then whenever an ono or an ahi or something or a mahi comes up, he can take it and he can throw it. And that's like the best throw flasher in the world, is an actual dead opelu that's fresh, that anything will just kind of come up and smash. And that's what they're used to feeding on all day out there. So smashed one of these guys. Pretty stoked to hit one. I think this is actually the first opelu I've ever shot, probably because it was the biggest one I've ever seen. So same kind of technique here for those ahis or shibis or baby yellowfin tunas. A lot of times you'll kind of notice them hanging out below those akus or skipjack tunas. And they're moving a lot faster a lot of times, and they're pretty easy to tell apart if you know what you're looking for. You can see kind of that bigger, darker pectoral fins, and they're kind of just ripping right through, smashing chunks. And again, they're tough to hit, especially at this size. They're moving real fast. You see I kind of dropped down there a little bit, and then I kind of came up a little bit, and I'm still looking at those chum chunks, and I'm kind of waiting to just kind of get one coming in within range. And you can see it just came through there, and I'll now look at that last piece of chum. I'll line up, and then right before he smashes that piece of chum, I'll fire right at the nose. And again, It's always a miracle, I feel like, whenever I shoot one of these, but stoked to get this one right here and then be able to take this back and compare it to that Aku and see what they taste like. So one of the things we're always looking for out here on any type of floating anything is Mahis. And today they were around. I mean, we saw them from the moment we got in the very first drift. Moku had one buzz past him to all the way at the very end of the day. They were just around, buzzing here and there. They were clearly very used to people, and some of them were kind of smart. Eventually, I got a nice opportunity at one of these here. I should have had this fish. I mean, full on, swimming up to him, threw the spoon. He came up to the spoon, looked at it, came within range. I shot just a little bit above him. I think I kind of did that on purpose. I was aiming a little bit high because I thought he was kind of far, and I underestimated it and just went straight over his back. Mark managed to shoot a stud here. I think this was his biggest Mahi ever. Bro, it's a monster! Moku managed to shoot one here too. Really, I was the only one that didn't get one, and I had my chance. I mean, I had the opportunity at that monster. I just screwed it up. That was my bad. I need to do more blue water. I need to get better with the outer edge range of kind of my guns, and probably one of these days get a proper blue water gun anyways. One of the techniques with Mahi is to kind of leave them down in the water for a while and see, because a lot of times the other ones will come over to him, but in this case, all we attracted was this shark here. Managed to keep him away from the Mahi and rescue it, but still, really cool to see any kind of wildlife out here and see that healthy ecosystem kind of work.
Nice fish, man.
So one of the best parts about diving offshore of kind of Kona is you never know what you're gonna see. And these are the rough-toothed dolphins, or stenos they call them. And if you look real closely, you'll see that these are not your average dolphins. They've got these crazy teeth that kind of stick out. They kind of look like dinosaurs. They look real prehistoric. And they're not that great to see while you're spearfishing or fishing. The fishermen don't exactly love these because, as you can see, they come up, they take your chum, they might take your fish, they'll take your baits, but regardless, I have not seen that many of these, and I'm always excited to see any kind of wildlife out here, and to be able to interact in crystal clear blue water with these dolphins, just so freaking cool. So we had an absolutely great time all day, blue water, seeing live fish all over the place, and then the craziest thing I have ever seen happened. I'm literally talking to Moku about how he shot his giant Ahis, and then right here, one comes flying up out of nowhere, grabs the chunks, goes back and forth, and then Mark took a long shot on it, just barely missed it. Unbelievable interaction with the fish here. You kind of heard me gasp underwater, but this could happen to anybody. Blue water, super common.
Bro, you said it, 100-pounder right here.
I just missed it?
That was ridiculous, dude. That was a huge fish. I don't know what happened. I want a boat, bro. Makes me want a boat so bad. Come out here with the chick.
Yep.
Guys, that was an incredible blue water dive. I'm hooked. I don't know why I don't do this more often, but Mahi all day long, a giant Ahi, probably the biggest Ahi I've seen in a really long time. Definitely the biggest Ahi I've seen in Hawaii. Got a couple nice Mahis. I have a cool little shibi, tiny little rat of an Ahi, and an Aku. And what we're gonna do with those is we're gonna take those back and we're gonna do a taste test, because nobody really has an answer for me. I'm like, why don't we eat the Akus, you know? And to me, they look just like the shibis. Ahi, Aku, same thing. Maybe they taste the same. We'll fillet them up. We'll look at them. They've been on ice all day. This should be cool. Mark with the monster. Ooh, is that yours? Yeah. Nice. Biggest Mahi?
Mine.
Sweet,
No, mine's
dude.
longer though.
I had my chance at the big Mahi. It got away. There's me. That's me.
Yes,
Nice little rat. There we go.
yes,
There we go.
oh, the Aku's bigger, bro.
Yeah. So check that out, guys. Aku and Ahi. That one that you missed could have eaten that one. That's literally what.
I missed.
Hey, could have happened to any of us. No idea what happened still yet. I think he was just a little far away, but incredible fish. So I'm down here cleaning my fish, gutting these guys for later.
bumped into some subscribers here. What do you guys got? Coles, huh? How about, is that a hola? Yeah? Sweet. Coles, maninis. That's awesome. Nicely done.
Guys, that was an incredible day of blue water hunting. And while we were out there, I managed to get this little Aku and this little Ahi. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop these up. Sam's gonna make these delicious poke bowls. But what I'm really curious about is the difference between this Aku and this Ahi. I know that definitely the Ahi is more sought after as a sushi grade fish, but we're gonna cut them up and we're gonna see for ourselves. So I whacked up both those fish and I did the Aku first. And the meat honestly looked pretty good. I was like, whoa, I'm impressed. And then I filleted the Ahi and you can really kind of see the difference there.
Wait, before we tell you what's what, write down in the comments what you think each fish is. This is fish number 1.
Fish number 1.
Fish number 2. You can definitely see a difference in color. So which one is the Aku and which one is the Ahi? Ryan, what's what? Because I have no idea.
You don't know? Guess. Guess.
Ahi.
All right, so there's the Aku. It's definitely redder than the Ahi, but not too red that I think it would be more like a bonita at home and be not edible. So I'm gonna pull some sushi blocks out of each of them, then we're gonna eat them, see what they taste like. Are we gonna feed them their first chunks of Ahi?
Ooh, I bet they would like it.
They're old now, I bet they like it.
Oh, you're so sweet right now.
Oh, rejected. Guys, it's happening. What else we got? Wait, which one ate it before? It was False Runt, right?
Yeah.
Oh, False Runt wants more.
I'm kind of thinking that we should turn this into like a blind taste test.
Like cover our eyes?
Yeah, like you don't know what's what.
Oh my god, this is the best idea you've ever
Right?
had. Let's see it, Sam. This is what it looks like. It's pretty close. You can obviously see a color difference there. All right, you ready? We've got fish sample 1 and fish sample 2.
Can I take this off?
Yeah, you can take it off.
I like number 1 better.
Okay.
I think the number 1 was the Ahi. Am I wrong?
All right, guys, she's completely wrong.
What?
You're completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Guys, every Aku dies from now on. All right, feed me. No shoyu. Let's do no shoyu. Keep it raw.
Open?
I have no idea.
Which one did you like better?
I liked them both. I thought they were both fantastic. I think number 1 was the Aku, but I liked them both. Well, I think the first one had more flavor. So I think that's probably that blood that I'm tasting, that little bit darker meat, a little bit more flavor. But they were both fantastic. Honestly, without the color, like I could never tell them apart.
Okay, so you were right.
I was right.
The first one I gave you was
Had a little bit more
Aku.
flavor. Moku actually told me, he's like, if you use them for poke, they'd be fantastic. If you mixed it in with the Ahi, it's awesome. You probably
Ooh, that's a
wouldn't
good
be able to
idea.
tell. Yeah, that's what he's
Maybe
saying.
we should do that.
Poke bowl, like mix them up. So honestly, we did the taste test first because I didn't want to end up putting Aku in my poke bowl and mixing it with the Ahi if it wasn't gonna taste good. That was awesome.
We're so bad. We're really big fish snobs. It's a horrible,
The worst fish snobs
horrible
ever.
thing. So it's
ever.
cool to do stuff like this because then we get to reframe how we feel about
Of
fish that we
course.
wouldn't normally eat.
I feel like Hawaii has done that already though. Like massively in like the year we've been here, like massively reframed like what fish we consider like grade A and not.
Don't fill up because we have poke bowls coming.
The only one that ate the Ahi cannot get away from it. Oh, get your paws out of there! Those pokey paws go in the litter box. So I put like half Ahi, half Aku. Same thing, cut them into little chunks. We're gonna get marinade, put that marinade on that Sam's gonna make. right, guys, so you know how I know that I actually live here in Hawaii now? Is I bought the giant thing of furikake, and I think I can pronounce furikake mostly correct. Furikake. That's okay. Love the furikake. Yes. This is it right there, all that work. Pretty fantastic. I may have put too much furikake on mine. It's possible. But either way, absolutely unbelievable. There's nothing like a poke bowl, and especially nothing like a poke bowl that you make yourself from a fish that you shot yourself. Guys, this whole entire trip may have changed my views of blue water diving. Like, I was really kind of anti blue water for a long time, but I mean, going out there and seeing that ahi and seeing how much life is out there right now, I mean, it's something that I really want to pursue more. And guys, if you want to see me do more blue water diving, let me know down below in the comments. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Ryan Meyer's Expeditions. This is not for kittens. You were all offered poke. All of you. Each one of you individually. And you rejected it. You rejected my sushi. I worked very hard for this fish. You guys rejected it, except for you. You didn't reject it, did you, false round?